So just not to change the subject or to switch before we get too deep into this. Um, so I mentioned earlier that I had met Dave at work. We worked together for a project, and I'd see him every morning, and we'd go out back and have smoke, and just chat and talk music. Because I don't know, I was there probably 3 months before I found out there was anybody else who was a musician, and then after that, it turns out that there was like 8 musicians from the music community right in our little building.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave and I would go out and have cigarettes and just chat and talk about music, and he invited me to his birthday party. And I wanted to bring it up because what was that thing that you had? Was it the Horn of Destiny? Is that what that was?
The horn. Yeah, the horn.
So those giant Viking horns?
Yeah.
So Dave had one of those. I'm pretty sure it was full of Jameson to start with.
No, the whole night it was full of Jameson.
Well,
we went through 2 bottles of Jameson. Went through that.
So
horn.
Dave's got this giant horn on his string around his neck, right? And it's his birthday. And what were you saying? You were like, the horn is chosen you. Yes, the horn has chosen you. And he'd come up and you'd have to drink from Dave's horn, right? So everybody there was cool and having a great time. And in fact, I think a lot of the people there were actually the guys that ended up being in your band later on. But there was this one dude who broke his ankle, like
my brother-in-law.
Yeah, like an hour into the party, he breaks his ankle. And
we just thought he had gotten drunk and fell, and he was like, "Oh, my ankle hurts." We're like, "Oh, you fell."
That's exactly what happened. He
got
whatever,
drunk
and fell, and then that was early. That was like 7.
Yeah,
and at like 11, he was still wandering around the party on his broken ankle.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man.
Broken ankle.
These guys are fucking hardcore because it was broken. Like, it was facing the wrong way, kind of broken. And he was wandering around on it.
He was like, ah.
And so the reason I mentioned this is Davey was like the whole night with the horn. You'd see him, and he eventually got to the point where one eye was starting to go this way and the other eye is kind of like center, And right about then, I was like, ooh, I have a cell phone with a camera.
So, what did you do, Brian?
So I started to snapping like these behind the scenes photos of Dave with his horn. And in his backyard there's a fence post. It used to be like a chain link fence. It's just the post standing up next to this little.
I have no idea what it was originally for.
It's tetherball
standing in the middle of the yard, right next to this. It was like a fountain kind of thing or something. And I have this photo of Dave leaning against the pole, but he's balanced somehow that all of his weight is on the pole, and it's only this big, like 2 inches around. And it looks like in the photo, it looks like I don't even know how to put it. It looks like he's falling, only like in a Picasso painting. I don't know how to put it. I'll show you guys. In fact, I'll put the photos we'll drop them on the Facebook or on the.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I've ever seen that.
And I've got a great one of young Dr. Jones with the horn. So,
do you have a photo of me rocking out on stage with you?
I do. I have the one that you gave me. I don't. And you, I think after the gig, you went. You decided for the better part of valor that you were going to crop that.
Yeah,
at a certain level.
Yeah, we're gonna show enough to know I was not wearing a shirt under, but then we'll leave it at that.
So I have that photo.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see those. That was a fun night.
I ran across those just the other day, and I was like, "Ooh, Dr. Jones! You look very, very drunk, Dr. Jones."
The horn was retired that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually sitting on one of my subwoofers in the band room. We have not put a drop of alcohol in it since that because I had the horn taken away from me that night when I started pouring the 3rd bottle into it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was.
It's chosen you though.
That was quite a party, man.
Yeah, I get this thing. I'm like super lovey drunk guy. Like everybody's my friend, and I just want everybody to have a great time. But I also get like really pushy about putting people into awkward situations, so I'll do stuff like that. Another example is we were talking about Nan earlier at his wedding when I gave the best man speech. And then there was the person went after me, gave their speech. And then there was kind of this moment of, does anybody else have anything they want to say? And there's always that weird, awkward silence. And I was like, no, So I run over and I grab the microphone. I just walk out in the audience, just stop randomly at somebody and I say, your turn to talk. And I hand them the microphone. And it was really weird and awkward for the first one or two people. Because it went on way too long. But people started getting into it. And then pretty soon, people are just getting more comfortable with it. And then everybody got to make a speech on it. So it turned out really nice. But I'll do that when I get to drinking. I want everybody to have as much fun as I'm having. And I'll put them into weird situations that I think this would be fun for you. You don't have a choice.
You will have fun.
Well, I think when it involves a microphone, it's a whole different level for people. It's different than someone at the party going, "Hey, Dane," and then, like everyone looks and you're like, "Yeah, fuck you," But when someone hands you a microphone, they're like, "Dane, tell us a story." Right.
This time, and then they hold it like down here at their waist. I was at a wedding recently. I officiated for the first time ever. And then I watched everybody do their speeches, and they were either too drunk or didn't ever hold a mic in their hand, or both.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had the mic at their waist. It's like it was the talking stick, but they didn't know they were supposed to talk into the stick. And yeah, it's like, no, the thing amplifies your voice for people to be able to hear you. And yeah, that was a whole shit show, that thing, man. Because, it worked out great, but 30 minutes before the wedding, all the power went out on that grid. And we're like, because I had a mic and my PA system so people could actually hear the ceremony. And so luckily someone had a generator in the garage, but he hadn't started it in 2 years.
Right.
So I was like, fuck. And he's like, I'll go get some gas for it.
Hey, it works, right?
And, but it was so fucking loud that we had to daisy chain all these extension cords to put it on the other side of the house. And then we ran it all the way to us, and then by the time the ceremony was over, about 30 minutes later, that's when it came back up. We're like, really? But yeah, that worked out good. But it was funny watching people try to talk into the mic. The other thing that was funny was during the ceremony, I'm trying to turn pages in the book, and they're repeating after me, so I have to keep going back and forth. I'm like, it's 11 to hold, and then I had to turn and do the other one, and then try to do it was just the most awkward, weird thing ever, and it was hot. Everybody was sweating. All the makeup that they spent all day doing was so it's a good time. It was a really good
and then
time.
he puts this crazy cryptic post on Facebook and made everybody think that him and Joey had ran out and got married.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was all ask me sometime about the Reverend and the wedding coordinator.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
Wink.
So it was funny though. I just happened to run across those photos, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Dave's coming on the podcast this week," And then I got to talk about these photos because that was quite the. Your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
This guy was like a tank, man. He was. I mean, it was. Did you saw Zombieland?
Mm-hmm.
That chick's foot's all going the wrong way, and she's still chasing him around the apartment. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And he was like a tank. Where's that horn, Dave?
Frank. Craziest thing about that, he doesn't drink a drop anymore.
Really?
He doesn't drink at all anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, because he broke his ankle at this one.
Right. That was it. Was he woke him up?
No.
That was rock bottom.
Didn't help, but.
So we put a pin in it earlier. We were talking about how you're an analog guy, and we are trying to get you to switch over to the digital world with your guitar playing.
Right.
So you have a Marshall, JCM 800 or something?
I got 2 Marshall stacks, which I no longer will probably have moved them to. Well, one's going to stay in the studio, and one will be at my house.
Sure.
It's kind of like it is now. I did it because where we're at now, we moved to this new studio, and it is not as acoustically friendly as the last place that we had. And I'd like to get to the point where we can practice at a level that's not ear splitting.
Sure.
I like playing loud, but in there, it's just an echo chamber.
So you already got electronic drums in the band.
Everything is loud in there, which is fine, but it's just we have to keep. We're now in the escalation battle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know we play acoustic drums in a a living room.
So for me, I'm like, well, hell, if we just and I don't,
Right.
none of those stacks that I have got a direct out to the PA system, or I would just do that. So we've got to mic it.
I don't think any tube amps have a direct out.
Yeah. So well, there's a couple.
I was looking them up. I didn't
Yeah.
see too many.
But so the deal it puts us in is we have to mic them. They have to, which means you have to have the volume up loud enough to actually drive it a little bit, and it just keeps that escalation thing going on.
Yep.
So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna get some kind of like a little digital out and just go through the
Right.
PA, and we can turn it down and manage our songwriting, and things will be clear. So that's what I did. I got a Helix. I came and tried yours out first to see, and fell in love with a couple of those presets. And you guys, that discussion, I was like this close, like a curly little pussy hair from buying Mesa head.
An actual tube amp.
I was
head.
gonna do it because I wanted that sound. I'm like, I'm tired of this Marshall sound. I want to go with this Mesa sound.
Right.
And then I'm like looking at it. The one I wanted to buy was like $1,700 on sale. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm going to do this every year. I'm going to end up with like 25 fucking stacks, and I'm going to try and be selling them. And
I don't see the problem.
Well, yeah. And then you, in fact, you said just buy this fucking Helix. It emulates the heads perfectly, and we tried it out, and the sound out of a couple of the presets is better than the sound that I literally heard in the Mesa.
So the earlier I was talking about my friend Jen from Rocket City Riot, and sold me the Line 6 Pod HD 500. And I actually got rid of that 3 weeks later because I hated it.
I thought those things were crap. That's why I stayed away from all that stuff for so long.
I don't know if I just couldn't program it right, or if the sound,
they sounded
sampling
like
was bad.
It was just bad digital.
Line 6 is up their games here in these last couple of years.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
think once they really started with the Helix stuff, because the Line 6 stuff all before that, I mean, it was decent, but you could always hear the limitations on it. And I don't think it was until the Helix where they really, and even when the Helix first came out, it was a little wonky too. But their latest firmware, the stuff they've been adding, hell, I have a Kemper and I still kind of want to buy a Helix.
Right. And so I was about to do the same thing. I got that sweet Stimmy, and I was like, I love orange amps, and I already had the cab, so I was like, maybe I'll just get the tube head of the rocker verb.
Can you go back and tell me what a sweet Stimmy is? Because that sounded pretty gross, man.
No, we don't have enough time. So I was gonna get the rocker verb MK3. It was like $2,200, and I was like,
yep.
It's what I want, and I know it's what I want, and it's gonna be the end all be all for the sound I've always wanted in tube version, because I actually enjoy the solid state head quite a bit, but that tube version just kind of pushes it a lot more. And so I was about to buy it, and then the Helix was like $1,300, and I was like, well, I could save myself a few bucks, but is it any good? So I started talking to Tom, our buddy who has a Helix and plays exclusively through it, and he's like, dude, anything you want, you can get through this thing. We toured the Line 6 factory, and we listened to the actual amp and the Helix next to each other. You couldn't pick them out. And I was like, yeah, but I can kind of hear it, but you really can't.
Right.
It's pretty rare, but
I was sold when you played those. We put those presets on.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm looking for, and I don't use enough pedals that I need a full pedal train and all this stuff. So yeah.
You probably could have gotten away with the HX Stomp or something too.
So, and here's the thing: I don't know if I'm going to stay with it. I don't know if that's going to be like my rig or my go-to. But certainly in the studio where we're at now, where we're writing our songs, I'm going to use it in there because we can bring the volume. And Brian's, our other guitar players, are looking to do the same thing. I don't know if he'll end up with the same kind of deal, or maybe somebody will be like, he has a knack for
it. It does take a little bit of, you have to have the ability to tweak a little bit here and there, and kind of a little bit of technology. Where I'm finding a lot of musicians don't have that. When they're really good musicians, they generally don't know much about technology.
No, I was going to say Brian has a knack for acquiring gear, so somehow he will trade something to somebody, and I'm sure one day he's going to walk in with a Kemper or something. Go, hey, I got this. Traded. So
right.
I feel like we're going to get there really soon, and we'll be able to manage that volume, and won't have to deal with this anymore. And that's the goal of this. That's the only reason I really did it. That and like I said, I have a Jonesy for this Mesa sound for a while because
And for recordings, dude, it's
That's-
fucking spot on, man.
That's what I use
So I
for
like
Zero
that-
Given. I
I-
use a dual rectifier.
I actually like the idea of that too for recording. Like I said, 'cause we did our album. I literally my guitar tone on that first album is Tosin. I just picked Tosin's tone and his gear and use that. And I just
And that's what's cool is like you're in a studio that has all those amps,
right.
basically, is kind of the feel. And I think they're really starting to hit that level a little more where it sounds.
I agree,
Perfect.
man. I did. I watched the thing the Helix that I just bought on. I mean, granted, it was online, but pretty good speakers. And it was the dude playing a Helix on this preset, a dude playing a Kemper on the same setup, and then a dude playing the same amp. And they, I mean, it was.
Yeah.
If
It's
there was
pretty hard to
if
pick.
there was a difference, I couldn't have really told you. Maybe
Right.
a little bit, but not.
And so my old Fender Mustang amp had that emulation, but they weren't quite. I mean, it's close, but it wasn't quite there. And I would put an actual tube pedal in front of it just to give it a little bit fatter of a sound,
Right.
just because it wasn't a tube amp, it was an emulated. And I don't know, Fender's really come a long way with their stuff, but because I was playing a Fender Mustang prior to this one,
Yeah.
and the sound difference was huge just between those two, and then going from that to the Helix was a huge jump. And like 2 weeks after I bought it, they added the actual head that I was
Right.
going to buy, and I was like, well, shit. I guess I'm set, man, because I have, not only is it sampled really well, I mean, it sounds like the real fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
Yeah.
So I think we're all end up doing with that is that I'll be that guy who's like who's got like these Marshalls in his house. You know, the people come over, wow, what are those?
I know, can I plug it in?
Right.
No.
Those are from back in the old days. That's how we used to play, you know?
Well,
I think I'm moving forward. Obviously I'm going to keep one of the Marshalls in the studio. And in the blues band, I think I'm probably still going to play a Marshall. Oddly, the digital one, I love the sound of that for the blues band.
The solid state
It's
head?
a DSL, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And
Those,
then
those actually,
What is that, dick
they're
sucking
not
lips?
bad sounding amps.
no, the DSL is a tube. The other one is I can't even remember what it is. It is.
It's a solid
As soon as I
state.
said DSL, I was like, what?
And I was like,
But I've also Scott's got
I wasn't sure you caught that.
Scott's got this custom VVT.
Oh, that thing's
I've
sweet
been
too.
playing that in
man.
the blues band, and it sounds really good.
Yeah.
It cuts through it's nice. So I don't know, man. I felt like, you know what it is? I had the money, and I was gonna buy a Mesa, and I talked myself out of being the guy constantly turning over gear. That's the bottom line.
That is the exact same thing that I ran into because when we started Rocketown Right, I was playing through my Marshall, and I just really wasn't digging the sound that I was getting. And now I know a whole lot more, and I've known if I did just put a tube screamer in front of it, I'd have probably loved it.
Right.
But I was looking at dual rectifiers as well. And then I started with Killing with Kerosene, and I was like, well, now I need a bass rig too.
Right.
And that's when the whole Kemper thing came in, and I messed around with Jerome's, and he showed me all the things you could do with it, and I was like, yeah,
It's kind of hard not to be sold on the
Yeah.
abilities of these things.
Well, and if they hadn't come as far as they have with the sampling, like if they were still doing what they were doing 15 years ago,
yeah, I would have
it'd
never
be
bought
like,
it.
meh,
Even
no.
the pod, I think you had one, Scott had one. I would have. I thought it was terrible.
It was awful.
Never would have bought into that
Yeah.
ever.
And Eric plays through a Line 6 too, doesn't he?
yes.
And he's our bass player.
Mhm.
What is that thing? I've never even asked.
Oh,
It's like it's an amp for a bass, but it's got all these little like
yeah,
preset buttons you can hit, and he can make it sound like a fucking.
yeah. It's got 5 or 6 different amps in it. It's an older one.
It's like a rack mount amp for bass.
Nice.
I bought that when my GK I had loaned to a friend to play an out of town show on, and they put it on top of the stack in the trailer. And whew, surprise, surprise, when they got back to town, it no longer worked.
Been there, done that.
And it was on the floor.
God,
And
All
I
right,
need
Dave. So we got to do this. That we have a tradition. Here, everybody who's on, no matter who it is, even if it's just me and Dane, whoever the guest is, has to do an impression. We used to make him do Christopher Walken,
Oh God, yeah.
but
yeah.
Dane's talked me out of it. Said we just have to. It just has to be an impression.
because my son was on here, and
Yeah,
he's like,
somebody-
"Who?"
They didn't even know who it was. Yeah. So you got to have some kind of impression of
Oh,
somebody, and
man.
you have to do it for
An
the fans.
impression.
Do you have
of
like a Gilbert
somebody.
Godfrey impression or
I'd like to meet anybody that could do a decent Gilbert Godfrey.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
You've got to have something, man.
Do you know any like? Could you do like a Paula Abdul?
I will say this: if you don't do an impression, we're going to delete this entire recording, and you were never here.
Do you know I have an episode I never aired?
Yes,
You should hear it sometime. Did I send it to you?
You played a little bit of it.
It's all about throwing up for like 40 minutes. It's just
Whoa.
these horrible, gross, like upchuck stories from the Shillelaghs playing on St. Patty's Day in Vegas. And I'm like, we can't put this out there, you guys.
So what do you got, man?
Oh
do you
man,
You have a Wadley impression?
Like, I mean, it
A
can
Matt Wadley
It's got to be. It
impression?
can be anyone, but it's got to be. You got to put some genuine effort into it, man.
Harrison Ford?
Lady Gaga,
Even Cher would work.
right?
I need an awesome auto tune for that.
Do you believe?
You know what? Eric Johnson. I mean, you got anything, buddy?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't really the impression game. I mean, I make fun of my friends all the time, but
Do me.
do Dane?
Yeah,
there you go.
Do a date impression. This will be great.
Dirt. I'm in all these punk bands. Where's the Coke Zero, man?
Yeah.
Man, I really honestly don't know.
I'm gonna delete
I
the whole
really
fucking
just
thing.
delete the whole thing, I guess. And I
That's fucking baller, man.
All right. Do you want to make up something for him? Because
No, you've got to come up with something, buddy. Do it on the spot. You got it. Let's go.
you're gonna make me an offer I can't refuse.
There you go. We got
Boom.
it. Bam.
I love it.
Was it Brando?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
we get
that's,
Brando.
that's the best I could do for
That was
Brando
good.
without cotton balls in my
That's a
mouth.
good-
Right. Damn, that was good, man.
That works.
Thank God
I
you
like
guys
my-
changed it from Christopher Walken. I'm sitting there the whole drive over going, I don't have a clue on how to do.
I thought my Cher impression was
But
pretty
the
good.
problem is everybody, when we did the walking thing, some of them had great. Olsen
Oli
has a
rocked
good
it.
walking, but
Yeah.
everyone wants to do the cowbell one, and it just got turned into a we can't do walking anymore.
Or the watch story.
Right. I know
Yeah.
we had Chuck do it. And we're like, Chuck, we need you to do the walking impression. He's like, I got this watch in my ass.
Thanks, Jim.
And we're like, oh, okay.
Wait, like you do now? Or?
Exactly.
Whoops. But yeah, we're glad that Moe's Music is having their grand opening June 19th.
let's kick that out. Let's
Super
go over
excited on
gigs and
that.
stuff that's coming up.
Oh man,
Go
so
over the-
I got a private birthday party, and you're going to be playing too. And you're going to be there.
Let's have
Yeah, I'm sound guy for
So
that
that's
one.
coming up
Yeah.
in June.
Why don't you run through the grand opening thing and the bands that are going to be there and what you guys got planned?
Ooh, I
and,
got a list. Earlier.
and what you got.
Oh
what do you have?
yes. I'll have to see the list because I don't want to. I would hate to leave somebody off. And I know Ashley sent you one earlier because we know a guy who does our flyers for us.
All right.
All right, you want me to run through the list?
Yeah.
No, I would like you to hand that to Dave and let him do an advert for his show. his
So
venue.
it's gonna start with Desert Danish, and then it's gonna go into Dog, and then we're gonna do
no,
another Desert Danish set.
Good lord!
And then-
Wait, what time is it? Is this like a morning?
There will be no Desert Danish at all at this thing. So if you're listening, because all my fans listen,
Is this an evening show or is it a all day thing?
We're hoping to have it be an all day thing. Right now we're sitting.
Are we talking about Dog in the morning? Is that what you said? Dog's first show back
dude.
No, because
in the morning.
Remember when 6 Feet Over played at 10 in the morning?
But
the 8 a.m. sessions.
Good lord!
Can you picture Mark getting full nipples and
Yeah.
and cowboy hat?
Yeah,
at
as long as
6
it's
in the
past
morning?
like 10, I think he would do
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay.
All right. Anyway, no Desert Danish at all.
Okay. I'm sorry. I
Just
didn't mean to
me-
interrupt you.
I know, and Ashley's kind of actually a little bummed on
It's
that.
a little tough to be doing all of that.
I mean, I do remember seeing Desert Danish open for Dog. That was kind of hilarious because Dane set his acoustic guitar down, picked his electric
mid
up,
song.
and they went into their
I
set.
know. I remember.
So the first one, it's actually the one of the first bands that's going to go is a band called Degenerated Idiot. That is Kenneth Ramon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
What's he doing? Is it punk rock or is it?
Yeah, it's a punk
yeah.
rock.
He
Yeah.
sends me clips all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Ken-
yeah,
who
dude.
did he get? I
Kenneth-
remember he was looking for people.
He
Who did
had.
he get?
I know Lena was singing with him for a little bit.
Lena, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
not
I don't know.
sure.
I don't know if that's a thing still or not.
Yeah, I feel bad. He ran through. I ran into him at Effin Tacos last week, and he ran it through me, and I remember it's him and Nathan Smith, and I for the life of me can't remember the other guys' names. But they have a couple of songs. It's going to be a shorter set.
Sure,
They only have a few songs down, but
that's badass.
they
dude.
asked. And,
Shout out to that.
you know,
That's awesome.
Dude, and you know what's so cool about Kenneth is he shows up to all the
He
shows
does,
and
he
he
does.
videos everything, and he always he's such a supportive dude, man.
He
I
is.
love Kenneth, man.
Totally agree.
So he's really happy to have him playing. The next one I have on the list is Single Malt Profits.
Oh shit, that's us.
Yeah,
Really looking forward to that.
that's the best two players in Dog and the best two players in
We-
6 Feet Over.
We come a little ways since the last time.
Hell yeah,
well.
so
The
that's-
first time I saw you guys play,
it was good. The
well,
first
also
time.
at Moe's,
Right.
was amazing.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
early
There
in
was one train wreck, but the rest of the set was great.
That's early in the morning.
I'm not doing them in order yet. We're still
Oh,
working
okay,
on
okay,
the
okay.
actual order.
SMP, right?
Single malt
Stage
profit.
Monkey Production.
Single malt
Oh, right,
profits.
right.
Yeah. What was it? St. Gimmicky.
Saint Gimmicky.
yeah.
You should change the band name to that.
No, I actually love that as a bad name.
Yeah, it'd
Single
be
malt
cool.
profits. I think it's a good name
It is. It's a great name.
It is a badass
for a
name.
blues band.
All right,
you know.
who else?
Will Anderson's going to be doing a set there.
Hell yeah.
That's,
Nice.
so he's always
So
great.
he was the singer in Rocketown Riot, and dude can dude like
Yeah,
the
his,
pipes of an angel.
his
Yeah.
acoustic game is real.
No,
Yeah.
like so I was a backup singer, and I couldn't even keep up with him, man. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, no, and his acoustic stuff is
And
good.
we did
I mean,
we
it's
did some
emotional and
we
deep.
did 3 videos here at my house where we did behind the or was it the barn door sessions is
Yeah.
what I was calling them. And dude just crushed it, man. Like 1 or 2 takes done every time. That was cool as fuck. Anyway, Will's awesome.
The next one, Loki Brown's going to be doing a set.
Loki Brown's badass.
We kind of can't ever have a show without John Ritchie. He's always been a huge supporter. Hell, he brought the PA for our very first open jam at Moe's.
Fuck yeah,
I mean,
dude.
the guy is
John's badass.
I love John.
Never misses open mic either.
Yep. Seeing Ravens in for the first time.
Hell yeah.
I saw those guys with you, I think, at the fairgrounds one time.
We were watching them.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, we did.
Those guys, are they from town or they're from Toronto?
No, it's Rob Pritchard's band.
I don't think I know them.
It's Rob Pritchard and Aaron Wadlin
Older guys?
and Chris Duke and Chuck Dunmeyer.
Are they
Yeah,
old-
yeah,
they're
not all of them.
older guys?
No. There's
Rob's
just like a good
he's
mix.
He's older. Rob was the rhythm guitar player in 60 Cycle Hum back in the day.
So he's been around for a
Yeah.
while. Okay.
But Aaron's pretty young.
Aaron's pretty young, yeah.
And
and
Chuck's not really old. He's
Chuck's
probably
I think he's Ashley's age,
35,
yeah.
34.
I mean, your
somewhere
mom's
around there.
pretty young.
That's true. That's,
The next one we have on the list, from San Diego, actually, Jefferson J and his wife Leanne Pearl.
Okay.
Hell
they,
yeah.
They played at our first grand opening at the old Moe's.
Oh, I think I remember them.
They
Vaguely.
started the "We Are Mo" chant.
Yeah, I think I
Nice.
remember them.
I don't
Yeah.
think I was there for that.
That was Leanne started that. So, really happy. We have the Small Town Sinners from Bakersfield coming in.
Yeah, very cool.
They're
Look
them up.
So were they friends with you or friends with Eric or
Do they-
something like
do
that?
they have
yeah, they're
banjos
friends of
and
ours.
all that?
No, they
No.
it's kind of like a punk background, but more like a country punk sort of rockabilly mixture.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a great
It's
band.
super cool. I watched a couple of their videos and
Right on.
yeah, it's gonna be real cool seeing them. I'm looking forward to that.
Let's see. She wrote, "Here's the bands we have. I don't know if everybody has to be. I don't want to hurt any. She doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but she forgot Kill 'Em with Kerosene.
Do you know anyone in that band?
I know a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Jerome the other day from that band. And He's like, yeah, we'll be there. And then I was like, oh, it's weird. He's not on the list.
Yeah, that's.
I thought maybe you dropped out.
So
It's
kill him
a
with
good thing you
kerosene.
guys didn't make the flyer yet.
Yeah, no
Right?
kidding. Make sure Kill Him with Kerosene gets on there.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. I'll write that down.
And then the headliners of the evening, if not just solely because.
Did he miss Dog?
No, we talked about Dog.
Yeah, Dog was playing in the morning. Remember Mark
That was
Nipples?
prior to saying
Dog's
no.
also not on this list, so you're going to want to make sure they're on that list as
Remember
well.
Mark Nipples 10 a.m.? We talked about it.
All right. What next?
Zero Given.
Zero Given.
Yeah, a little punk rock band from Ridgecrest.
And we got
CA.
some originals. It's not all covers.
No, we do.
Right on.
We're working them in there.
How many are you guys going to have for the show?
2.
2 down
All
for
right.
sure. We're working on our 3rd one now.
Fantastic.
We have about 5 or 6
In various
kind of-
stages of.
Yeah, they need a little work.
Okay.
We haven't quite nailed the pirate theme, so.
Dude, playing a song that rocks and still has a pirate vibe is harder than you would think.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, more of a Viking pirate vibe.
To try doing both on the same album.
Well, I know someone that can do
It's
it.
fucking legit.
Ailstorm.
Yeah.
You a fan of
Yeah.
Ailstorm?
Oh yeah, it's the only band I like that has an accordion in it.
Well, it's actually a keytar, which makes
Dude,
it less cool.
I'm literally on a painting, standing on the front of a Viking ship, holding my hand up in the Captain Morgan pose. God damn it!
Oh, is that the pre-penis logo?
Was that supposed to be you?
Yes, that was the pre-penis logo. You're right. You know, the sad part of that is I have this giant poster on my wall, and now every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's a cock.
I still have one of you guys' giant stickers on one of my my Mackie PA speakers.
Leave it. Those things look good on the speakers, man. I'm gonna put them on ours, on our JBLs. I think they look good on there.
So
No, you're not.
No, I am. I actually have some.
That shit costs money.
No, I have.
Should I put it on my truck? One of those stickers?
Yeah, we can hold.
if you
hold the bumper on with it.
if you do, I'm gonna get a gold paint marker and I'm gonna color in the dick on it,
Oh, please
do
do.
that.
and then write dog across it.
That's
See,
almost,
so he's
that's
not-
almost too good.
He's not even in dog, and he's over there fucking.
Didn't you guys put a 6 feet over sticker on Scott's truck once or something?
No, he did.
No, I thought somebody put it on his truck.
No, he did.
Yeah.
I kind of run sound for dog.
So, is that
That's
it? Was that the list?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the list. And there's probably going to be a couple others here and there.
And what
You
did we
never
have
know.
on there? We had like 10.
I think it's about 8.
Yeah. What about
Well, minus the 2 that weren't on there, so yeah, it's about 10.
what about the whatevers? Are they playing?
Mm-mm.
No, actually, they have a is it a camping trip that weekend?
I don't know, something.
Yeah.
No, I think
I wasn't there.
I
don't know.
think they were planning on playing. So you might want to talk to them.
Okay, I'll
I talked to
I'll
their guitar
definitely
player
reach
this
out to
weekend,
him
and
again.
He was like, he said, "Oh yeah, I think we're doing this thing on Dave's grand opening."
Well, hey, we
Okay,
can talk about all this later.
I love those guys, so
Yeah.
I would
It'd
definitely.
be weird not having them
It
and
would.
not having 6 feet over.
And they're so easy to run sound for because they bring their own sound guy,
Oh, it's perfect. Sound queen.
sound queen.
She's a
yeah.
sound queen.
I really wish my band could play there, but I'm just gonna have to pour it into the blues band and
Well, and we'll definitely have more shows there. So
Oh yeah.
keep that in mind.
yeah.
Well, you guys are working on another album, so that means another album release. So we're gonna go big on this
All
one.
right.
So this is our first show as Zero Given,
Yep.
and I plan on kicking in some faces, but with my good knee.
I was just gonna say no, really not unless you're gonna do it from a walker.
I know, right?
It's gonna get weird.
It's gonna get weird, but not as weird as some shows.
I mean,
I've been
you
to.
take a punk rock band that's basically been locked in with only each other for a year. It's
Yeah.
gonna get weird.
Good.
If you show up on stage to sing with us with a midriff on, I might let it happen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I might, but I got this pretty gnarly scar now. I don't know if you want to see that under stage lights.
We
Everyone's
are-
like,
Yeah.
and Davey's mopping up the floor afterwards. God damn it. All right. Well, hey,
So
Dan,
yeah, I was gonna say this has gone a while. This is a nice,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is a long podcast. You got some editing to do on this one, buddy.
I might do 2 parts
yeah, just
because it's almost. If you want to talk for another 7 minutes, we can make it 2 hours.
Wow.
really. You weren't kidding. This does go.
It goes real
It
quick.
does go real quick.
All right.
Because, like I said, I was a little nervous coming over. I was super excited because I've been listening to them and I actually get to respond to the conversations.
Everyone's
now.
usually pretty nervous when they come over, but they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to talk about." I'm like, "Don't worry about
One
it."
time we had mac and tea on here. We had Scott mac and cheese on here, and dude showed up with a bag of chicken wings and a bottle of Jameson.
He's like, "Oh, were you serious?"
Dude was he was.
I didn't even know that was an option because I was afraid of sitting.
Yeah, no, that was.
And then Oli came over and rattled his ice in every fucking mic. He's like,
that was actually a really fun podcast.
That was a great one, man. We got hammered drunk.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, aren't we supposed to be calling him David Patrick Starfish?
I don't know.
Are we?
Well, I thought he wanted David Patrick. I just had.
I think he's trying, but I don't know if that continued or not.
Shout out to Dave. I love you, Dave.
Shout out to Davey Patrick.
We know Dave.
Davey Patty. Yeah, we ended up. I think that's when he was moving off of Facebook, and I think he's not now.
No, he's not. He obviously isn't. I saw.
But that's okay. That's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's good to have a change of heart sometimes. Hey, I still have to read the book that he gave me. He gave me a Chuck Palahniuk book called.
Also, the only person to come on the podcast and give you a gift.
That's true. That's true. We should really come up with gifts to give people.
No, I think we should require gifts from all
official
guests.
You want to be on the podcast? Bring a gift.
Bring a gift.
I have official Desert Danish merch.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
speaking of that, Nate Newman would like to be a guest.
Oh yeah, he's been on the list for a long time. Aaron,
Nate's a good guy. He's probably got some interesting stuff to talk about. So that's something we didn't talk about with Dave is movies. That's a big part of this.
We talked about walking and Chuck having a watch in his ass.
I don't think we said anything about it.
There was at least 3 Wayne's World references.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
and you guys did sing. So
okay. So check this out. I just saw this right before you guys came over. I don't know if you're a fan. I'm a huge fan of the Saw movies because I like gratuitous gore for no reason.
Chris Rock and Sam
Jackson are going to be in the next chapter of the Saw.
Oh, really?
And I was like, like, how do you not watch that?
Well, I'll tell you, I think I watched the first one, and then I was like,
and in the trailer, at the end of the red band trailer, motherfucker, I was like, yeah, he did the thing. He's Sam L. Jackson.
You know who else I think I saw in the preview for it was Forrest Whitaker.
Really?
Yeah, funny. Forrest Whitaker.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw him in there.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah,
the 419 and 420 eye.
All right. So anyway,
shout out to Forrest Whitaker. Please sponsor us.
Well, no, where I was going with that is if we get Nate on here, he's a big movie guy. I think he's a film guy. Kind of him and Ryan are in the same kind of genre.
Huge, yeah.
So he'll be a good guy, good conversation to have.
That's probably better than trying to talk movies with me, honestly, with the craziness that goes on in my life.
It's like we were talking to Matt about movies one time. We were in the podcast. We're like, hey, so we're talking about these movies. Dan and I are going back and forth. And we're like, Matt, what about you? What have you watched lately? And he was like, Moana for the 37th time.
I get that. Because like, if you guys want to talk about the Mitchells versus the Machines, I'm all over it. Because that movie's only been out like a week and I've seen it 4 times.
So anyway, the Saw movie's coming.
Well, I'm just saying, guys with kids, movies are...
Dude,
yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. And we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
I did see a movie called Nobody recently with Bob Odenkirk in it.
Can't wait to see it.
Fucking amazing. Go see it. Go rent it. Whatever you got to do, watch that fucking movie. It is amazing. Especially if you feel like your life is just humdrum and every day you do the same damn thing. There's not really a lot of plot to it, and you don't really have to follow much. And it's just basically Bob Odenkirk beating the shit out of people the whole movie. It's fucking great.
Which is a weird thought.
It's a weird thought. Yeah,
know?
And it's totally different for him, and it was amazing. I've watched it twice at the theater.
Did either of you get to watch the new Mortal Kombat movie?
No, but I watched 2 reviews on it today.
I watched it.
And they were like, same thing. If you just like watching people beat the shit out of each other, that's the movie for you.
What they did is,
if you want any plot, nope.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it's a video game. They're not going to get a good movie.
Yeah,
but what you did get was the kill scenes, just like in the game, were like finish him. Mm-hmm. They were finishing moves.
Yeah,
when they killed somebody, it was like, fuck.
Well, that's kind of why I was really interested in seeing it, because they were really pushing the limits of an R rating.
Yeah,
and that's kind of, and then I got
imagine what they cut out, you know?
Yeah.
Each other's faces.
There was like this 4-foot saw blade spinning in the ground.
I saw that,
and it's just face first.
So
it was pretty.
So basically, everything I read about it was like a 10-minute review of the movie. And so I agree with him, and I haven't seen it, but basically they have all these characters in all the 11 versions of the game, and they chose somebody not a
Right.
character in the movie to be the
Right.
main guy and you're like,
Yeah.
huh? And then I guess they kill Scorpion's family at the beginning,
Right.
and then it's like, hundreds of years ago, and then all of a sudden you see the guy, and you're thinking, well, maybe is he going to be
It
Scorpion?
was.
And then he doesn't.
It is.
That was like a huge missed opportunity.
So
And then everyone beats the shit out of Sub-Zero at the end.
So look, I mean, go back on the long list of video games that they made into good movies.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Mario Brothers.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, great movie.
So
yeah,
I can tell you
top-notch shit,
I can
right?
tell you one movie that
Uh-huh.
was good. So this was the same thing. It was just another, okay, we're gonna take a shot at making a profit off of video games, and it was better than the first Mortal Kombat movie they made. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the beauty
that's a
about doing
pretty-
this new one is they literally couldn't have made it worse
Right.
than
Yeah, that's
in
a-
the first one.
I liked Kano in the first one, and I hear he was pretty good in this one.
Yeah, he was. Well, I mean, he was probably the best character,
Right.
but still was the guy. I mean,
Anyway, video game movie.
that was good.
Yeah.
Silent Hill,
Didn't see it.
Yeah,
really good.
I
movie.
would. Yeah,
They did a fucking good
that
job
was
on that.
that was a good one.
They sure have messed a lot of movies up.
Yeah.
I know that.
So I don't remember if we talked about this or not last time. There's a movie bouncing around the streams right now called Unhinged. It's got Fat Russell Crowe in it.
Oh, I heard about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about.
Watch that movie. Not that the movie's good. It's kind of a trope, just standard, over and over theme that's been done. But Russell Crowe as a psycho is
Yeah, that's what I heard. is
holy moly.
he really did it
I
right.
mean, it was the point where I was driving the other day and I pulled up next to somebody and I was like, if that guy asked me to apologize, I'm totally apologizing to him.
So I'm gonna run through a list real quick and do like my quick impression of the movie if I saw it, and you guys do the same. So Mortal Kombat, the original one, awful,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Resident Evil,
Couple of them were okay.
okay.
yeah, not a fan.
Warcraft,
Oh God, didn't even watch
I
it.
Didn't watch it.
actually liked that one.
I passed.
It
on
was
'cause
good
so-
fan service, and
sounds like
I
a kid's
yeah.
movie.
it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
yeah, but all he does is watch
If
kids
you're not
movies.
if you're not a World of Warcraft player, there's a lot of fan service in it, so there's just be parts that you just don't get.
Gotcha.
We got Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hopkins.
Didn't
Hopkins?
even waste my
Yeah.
time on any of
No,
those.
it was the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
And John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo. Yeah,
Pass.
As a kid, when it came out, it was cool, and now I watch it, I'm like, ugh.
yeah, it's awful.
Detective Pikachu, didn't see it.
I wanted to see that one actually.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
yeah,
Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Pass.
pretty fucking awful.
yeah.
Doom with The Rock.
Never
Pass.
saw that one.
It was bad until the very end. He went into rage mode like they did in the game, where and they actually made the little bar at the bottom like you were playing the game, and he just went around fucking kicking everyone's ass. That was kind of cool. Silent Hill, you just mentioned. This one, the very first one, I thought was great. Tomb Raider with what's her face? Angelina Jolie. I thought the first one was good. All the rest, and John Voight was in it
It
too.
was so long ago. I don't really remember it.
I just remember the shorts. Sonic the Hedgehog, which had a lot of weird shit happen before.
That,
they
yeah,
put
that
one
one
out.
had all sorts of
But, like, where's his
controversy
hair?
and- yeah, his eye shape is wrong. And
Yeah. Rampage.
they made a movie of that.
I know. That's what I was
That
just
wasn't
thinking.
bad. That was the one with the Rock and the giant gorilla and all that.
Didn't
wasn't
see
bad.
it. Yeah.
I loved that arcade game when I was a kid.
Max Payne.
Saw
Never played it. Never saw it.
Saw the movie. Didn't play the game.
Any good?
It was okay.
Angry Birds movie. Why we would need to make an Angry Birds movie? I don't know.
That movie is great.
Is it?
It is.
It's worth the watch.
It really is.
I'm gonna have to watch
It's hilarious.
it now. Okay. I played the game.
You're telling me that's worth 2 hours of my life.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
Okay.
It's one of the, see
Even
What
if
I love- what I
even
love-
if I didn't put 2 hours into the game,
yeah, what I love about animated movies nowadays is they realize that parents are going to end up watching these movies hundreds of times with their kids. So there's, the bright colors and the flashing movement and the little obvious kid thing. But all of these movies put these little subtle adult humor jokes
Okay.
in there, and the elements on it, and some of the comments and the lines on it are just it's hilarious. It
Okay.
really is.
All right.
All right, Double Dragon. I remember the game kicked ass. The Nintendo game.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember when the
I don't
movie
remember
came
the-
out, but
I don't remember the movie.
I don't think I watched it.
Never saw the movie. Need for Speed.
No, great game, but I don't.
Great game.
didn't know
well,
the movie.
some of the games are great.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Like Need for Speed Underground 2 was
That was a
amazing.
great game.
That was probably the best one. of the whole
Yeah,
series.
I remember that
I remember
one.
there was one where there was a whole cops and robbers mode in it. That
Oh.
game was fucking bitching.
Oh,
I didn't like
Hot
that
Pursuit.
one.
Loved it.
Hitman.
I wanted to see that one. I actually really enjoy those games. I have never finished any of them because they're really slow paced.
Okay.
And
You know what game was good that's kind of like that? It's Sniper. Or
yeah,
Sniper Scope or
I played
something like
the
that.
original
Where you get to
one.
shoot it. You get to shoot a. It's great. Assassin's Creed. Never played the game. Never saw the movie.
I didn't.
Played the game, didn't watch the movie.
Resident Evil.
There's like 20 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few movies too.
Yeah.
There's Retribution and Extinction, and I think there's another one.
No, I think there's like 6 movies.
And
And
then
a couple of them
The
are pretty good.
original. House of the Dead.
Nope.
Nope. DOA, Dead or Alive.
Is this just a list of movies that are games?
Yeah.
Or games.
I'd be curious to see on what that movie's about because I thought DOA was the fighting game with the anime princesses in skimpy costumes.
Don't know. There's so many games that didn't need to be movies.
right.
But then there's like it's cooler when it's a movie and then they make a game of it. Like there was a Return of the Jedi game I used to play. But you already knew the characters and you already knew what was going to happen. But okay, so they put out Star Wars Battlefront. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original ones
So-
back in the day.
So they did it recently for the PS4, maybe like 5 years
It was
ago.
actually good. They did. The game was cool.
And
It was just really hard.
It was weird because
And all those fucking kids on there cheating,
so
killing all the old guys.
so it was cool. It was cool when they did Battlefront because it was interactive. Like you were with a bunch of people and you were like doing fighter scenes
Yeah, oh yeah.
and
Like
you
famous
were like
battles from the movie.
yeah, you were
and
like on
stuff.
Hoth
And they did a great job on the graphics and the interaction on it.
but there was no mission.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck? Like I play this not online too sometimes. There was nothing.
That's one of the issues that I have with video games nowadays is the whole concept of the single player element on a lot of those big franchises is just gone. They just
yeah.
they're,
it's Call
they're
of
like
Duty.
get
I mean,
people
that's-
online, get them paying all your microtransactions, and you know,
Hey, level up quicker.
Do you-
do I need to tell that story now?
Do you find you're a gamer? Are you like? Do you have time in your life to be a gamer?
I'm not so much anymore. And most of the stuff that I've done recently is just kind of got into
Own a record
PC
store, they
gaming.
said.
Yeah.
But I used to be. I
used to be,
I
yeah.
used to be like quite into it. I was a PC gamer more than anything. I played some on the console, but
Sure.
none of the multiplayer stuff on the console. It was all the multiplayer stuff I played was on PC because we were elite, and that's where all the hackers were.
hmm
Follow the logic
Sure,
on that one.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but at some reason
Hack the planet.
at some point it just stopped for me. It sucks because I really had some great times and some good friends I used to play with, and it stopped being interesting for me. And I'm
Right.
not sure if it was like Dave said, where the games became generic and they were the same game, just like here's the same game, we're just going to re-release it with new graphics and a new
Right.
setting, but it's the same bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
Or if I just evolved past it, I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
it was.
Like,
You have a great story about
Leveling up.
leveling up and playing video games, and it's just I love you to make you tell it because it's on what is semi-humiliating.
Self-humiliating.
It's just sad.
man. So I got out of the army. I'll do the quick version since we're already way past time. So I got out of the army and I was going to school, but it was like 2 days a week or something. And I just had nothing to do all day because it was the beginning of school. So it was like math 50, which is like addition and subtraction. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to try this Call of Duty thing that everyone seems so fond of. And I think it was like Black Ops 2 came out around that time. And so I was like, the army gave me like 16 grand when I got out because I didn't retire, but I had pension. And so I bought myself the deluxe edition you had to show up at midnight for.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm
Mhm.
standing in line. I was 29 or something with a bunch of 14-year-old kids and their parents. And like they were throwing hats out, but I was way taller than all of them. I was like, fuck you kids. I got this. So I actually had the hat and everything. And I bought the headset.
So you had the hat, the deluxe PlayStation bundle.
Yep, and I bought the new headset,
The
Call of Duty it was the
headset.
Turtle Beach headset,
Yeah,
right?
Shit.
And so I could talk shit to all these 13-year-olds. I suck at video game playing, by the way, so it didn't really ever come to fruition. But so they were doing a thing at the time where you could get XP quicker, and like so buying the limited edition bundle ahead of time got you like you were already a sergeant when you started, right? And so you have all these cool new weapons and skins for it and all this stuff. And but then if you wanted more
Picture him
XP,
at home, like what, putting on more paint.
well, I still had some at the time.
Let me see
right?
your war face.
I had just gotten out of the army, right, after 9 years. So it was, for me, it was reenacting my past. I don't talk about that. So,
Okay.
right. My old bowling injury, quote unquote. So anyway, here's the sad, funny part. So Doritos and Mountain Dew were how you get your XP,
Yep, I remember those.
and I had 16 grand
Oh, fuck.
minus
You didn't.
the limited edition box.
No.
No, I didn't spend it all on that, but basically for 3 months they ran this promo where if you bought Doritos, any kind of Doritos, you got a code, or any kind of Mountain Dew, you got a code on under the lid or in the box. It got pretty bad where I was like, I need XP because I had nothing else to do but like 2 classes, right? And I'm just home all day and playing against these little shit asses. And I had to XP because I suck at the game, right? So I'm not getting like the kill count or any of that. So,
But you had a tank.
so
Had a tank.
right, but I had a cool rifle. So I ended up I mean, once you buy the Doritos and the Mountain Dew, you got to drink them, right? So that was no problem for me. I can tug back 6 Mountain Dews in a shot, no problem. Put it in a beer bong or whatever. And the bag of Doritos is what 1 day is worth, so I got 7 each week. But then it got real bad. Then it got bad.
real bad.
Yeah. So then, obviously, that was like the month I stopped working out
Oh, fuck.
because I got out of the army. Right? I even had a bum knee and shoulder, so they at least made me walk for 2 miles every morning. Right? I couldn't go run with everybody, and I couldn't do push-ups and all that, but they would make me walk
But then
every
they
day.
left you alone in an apartment with video games
and
and junk food.
to go from that to no movement except to the bathroom and back sometimes when I felt like it was I had plenty of Mountain Dew balls around. It was no big deal. Oh, that was my knee.
Yeah, I heard that over here through headphones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
that fucking hurt. So anyway, gained like 40 to 70 pounds in that 3-month period. But then I also bought some guitars and shit and went on a little vacation.
Oh, don't try to save yourself
No,
now.
No, but check this out.
Tell where it gets really dark.
So I didn't have any more money right at the time. Maybe, not to keep buying this shit. So I just started like taking photos of it at the store and just typing in the XP codes when I got home. I can't imagine how disappointed some of these little kids were when their mom bought them the Doritos, brought it home. My code doesn't work. That's because Dane took it, you little shit.
Oh, good God.
Oh, it got dark, man. It was a really bad period in my life.
I've heard this story like 15 times, man, and I laugh my ass off every time.
It's like those documentaries you see on YouTube. The World of Warcraft ruined my life.
Well, but that's how I ended up gaining like 70 pounds afterwards because all I ate was Doritos and Mountain Dew.
But I hate
Like
to
the
laugh at
2
your
worst
misfortune,
things you can
man.
put in your body, I did for months. Damn, they have good marketing. Davey, we're glad you came onto the podcast. We're going to leave you with that. I don't think you could beat that story right now.
No. I don't think anybody could beat that story.
That's yeah.
Yeah, so looking forward to the grand opening.
Save that for the comedy slam at
I actually
At
have
Moe's
that.
Music.
I have that and my how I almost got chlamydia story,
Right.
and then a couple others.
So, if we don't see you, I'm sure we'll have another podcast before the
Sure.
grand opening and we'll pump it up. So,
I appreciate it.
Can't-
Thank you.
it's really exciting. I'm
Heck
glad
yeah,
you
dude.
came on.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys had me.
Swing on back anytime, man.
Yeah, really.
Anytime.
We got Nate Newman and Matt Wadley up next, and then after that, man, feel free to come by and co-host with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
fun to hang out.
Cool, man. Well, we appreciate you coming out. We'll be putting out a Facebook page here real soon. Zero Given.
Yep.
Follow Kill 'Em with Kerosene. You guys are on Spotify and Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And Brian, you're with 6 Feet Over and Single Malt Profits.
You got it.
And I think I'm an admin on that.
I'm Desert Danish.
I'm
on Bandcamp.
Yeah, you can find me. Actually, it's too late. I was going to say you guys can buy all my stuff, and I get Bandcamp gives it to me. What do they call it? Where they don't take any royalties?
I already own all of your stuff.
Yeah, but you don't own it enough.
I think I do.
You do.
I think
You
I have
do.
copies of everything.
You can find me, Desert Danish, on Spotify, Instagram. What's the other one? Facebook,
Yes.
Amazon, iTunes.
Most bathroom walls.
Anyway, you can always check out episodes of the old podcast at desertundergroundpodcast.com.
And we are also on Facebook
And
Desert
YouTube.
Underground Podcast.
You guys know where to find us.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
there's a website out there
Spotify,
somewhere.
YouTube,
And Moe's Music, Richcrest.
on Facebook.
So check them out.
I believe we have an Instagram too.
Come out to the damn show, you jerks. Yeah,
Please.
please.
Spend a lot.
Or
spend a lot of money and a lot
if
of
you-
time.
If you don't
Trying
come
to
out,
make this
Davey's
fun.
going to knife me.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Might do
All right.
that anyways.
See you later.